Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a modern image magnifier effect using HTML, CSS and Vanilla JavaScript. This effect lets you hover over an image and see a smooth zoomed in view inside a circular magnifier. So let's get started. Alright guys, so make sure you have opened the project folder inside VS Code. Now let's create index.html. Inside that we will create HTML skeleton. Let's give it a title. After that, let's connect our style.css file and the JavaScript file. Next, let's create those files here. After that, inside the body, let's create a div with a class of card. Inside, let's create a heading. As you can see in the browser, we have a heading. Now let's create another div with the ID of image zoomer box. Inside here, we will create image with the ID of image1, and for the source I'm gonna copy the image link from the unsplash.com website and I'm gonna paste that here. You can copy any image you want. Alright, next let's create another div, and this div will be our magnifier. Alright, so that's it for the HTML. Now let's work on style.css. For the body, I set the margin to 0, the height is 100% of the viewport, and use flexbox to center everything both vertically and horizontally. I set the font family to Poppins for a clean and modern typeface. I am also adding a gradient background going from pale color to black to give it a modern dark theme look. Next, let's style the card. I give it a slightly transparent background using RGBA values. I also add a backdrop blur for that nice glass morphism effect. Then we give it a padding, rounded corners and a box shadow so it pops out from the background. I also add a hover effect that gently lifts the card up by translating it on the y-axis. This adds some interactivity and makes the card feels alive. Now let's style the image container, which is the zoomer box. I set the width 100%, position it relative and give it a rounded corners. I also hide any overflow so the magnifier doesn't spill out of the container. We add a soft box shadow to match the card and a hover effect that slightly scales the container up. Inside the image itself just takes 100% of the width so it stays responsive. Now for the fun part, the magnifier lens. This is our image 2 element. I give it a fixed width and height and set its background to the same image as our main picture. The key is here that the background size property, I set it to 200 so the image inside appears zoomed in. I make it circular by setting the border radius to 50% and add a white border and soft shadow so it stands out as a lens. To make it modern, I also apply a slightly blur effect behind it. By default, the magnifier is hidden with opacity set to 0 and it is slightly scaled down. So when we hover over the image, I change the opacity to 1 and scale it up with the smooth transition. This makes the magnifier appear smoothly instead of popping suddenly. Now let's add the JavaScript to make the magnifier actually follow our mouse. First, I select the element, the image box, the original image, and the magnifier lens. Then I create a function called handle mouse moves that takes the mouse event as a parameter. Inside this function, I calculate the position of the mouse relative to the image box using getBoundingLineTreeAct. This gives me the x and y coordinates of the mouse inside the container. Next, I convert those coordinates into percentages. This helps us to set the background position for the magnifier. Then I set the left and top position of the magnifier so it follows the mouse cursor. Finally, I update the background position property of the magnifier based on the percentage we calculate earlier. This way, when I move my mouse, the magnifier lens shows the correct zoomed in portion of the image. And lastly, I add event listener of the image box for the mouse move event and link it to our function. Now if I hover over the image, you can see the magnifier in action. It smoothly follows the cursor and zoomed in on the exact spot I am pointing at. And that's it, we have successfully built a modern, stylish image magnifier using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This effect is super useful for product previews, photo galleries, or just adding some cool interactivity to your website. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.